Of Orlando seen here during a gorgeous sunset. Quite a backdrop for our broadcast tonight. It's the NBA on 2K Sports with Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan, and we're pleased to have on the sidelines tonight David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Well, Aaron Gordon is progressing as a shooter. He said, what I've done is connected my three, my pull-up, and my free throw. They're all the same shot now. I'm going to keep trusting my skill, and eventually it'll all come together. With my motor, I feel like whatever I'm doing out there, I can just keep going and going. Kevin?
Tremendous athleticism. Thanks, DA. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats from Inu.
And his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better over his last 10 games. He looks so much more comfortable from beyond. There's no doubt he's got the green light to let it fly whenever the shot's there for him.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Jalen Brunson. And it's Marjanovic in at the 5. And for Orlando, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Augustine and Fournier are the backcourt tandem. And it's Okeke in at the 3, the small forward. Dallas moving it around. And the dunk by Porzingis.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic, and a pretty pass right there. The numbers for Luka Doncic, absolutely staggering. The only rookie...
Hammer it home! Hammer it home, baby!
That is authority right there.
It was. And the dunk by Doncic.
If he sees a lane to the rim, Doncic will capitalize. Nice drive.
Augustine passes to Fournier. Now here's Vucevic, guarded by Hardaway. Crafty move, and he gets the bucket.
It's just great poise from the big man. Vucevic sticks with his shot even while being defended well.
Here's Brunson. And Porzingis throws it down hard.
Don't sleep on his athleticism now. Porzingis plays well above the rim.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Fournier into the lane.
I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so. Mavericks have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And the dunk by Doncic.
This incredible confidence that Luka Doncic possesses, my goodness.
Now here is Augustine. Tight defense on him. Pass to Gordon. To the paint. Here's Vucevic. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Boy, 4 for 4 to get things started. Must have been a good shoot-around this morning.
Doncic lays it up off the glass. Doncic has got 6.
You got to remember that Luka Doncic is so much more than a shooter. He's got every shot in his arsenal, even amongst the trees in there.
Pass to Gordon. Augustine from outside. The Mavericks pull it in. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And guys, they walked into the arena with a certain kind of swagger, and we really saw it play out on the offensive end.
And what surprised me was how easy they made it look. It seemed like they got something out of every possession.
That free throw good from Hardaway.
Well, think back to before he moves on to the Dallas Mavericks. While Tim Hardaway Jr. was with the Knicks, he was carrying such a burden offensively because Porzingis was still recovering.
Hardaway hits them both. And we've seen Hardaway be a much more efficient player than in the past.
What we know, Kevin, unequivocally, is that this young man can score the basketball. But what you hope is the best players in the NBA are all about efficiency. That's what you want Hardaway Jr. thinking about. How can I be the most efficient guy on the floor? I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
Stolen by Brunson. Oh, and here comes Porzingis all alone. And the dunk by Porzingis.
He's still filling out that frame, but the Greyhound physique of Porzingis well suited to transition play.
First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. Now here is Augustine. Brunson covering. Augustine with it. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. He feeds it to Vucevic. And the rejection by Marjanovic. That's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession. Both teams deciding to change it up. Here's Isaac. The Magic again can't hit. Mavericks leading by 6. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
Isn't it interesting, Doris, to see how these NBA players that come into the league looking one way physically and they leave looking another way, they change their bodies over the course of their career.
Kevin, you talked about this earlier. These players commit to their season over the course of 365 days. Virtually no offseason. Think about the reigning MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who adds 50 pounds of muscle from the time he enters the NBA. Or the other side of the equation, right? A Yusuf Nurkic or a Marc Gasol who drop weight, Kevin, to enhance their quickness and their stamina. These guys are so committed.
They are. Here's Barea, and he uses the glass on the way.
Timeout. Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip, and guys are making their shots. That's critical.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic.
Well, you think the ownership style of the Mavericks, something the league had to adjust to. Very active, very outspoken. Sometimes I think that rubbed people the wrong way. But now you get the sense it's almost the new normal.
Fournier's shot is off. And it's Barea with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. 10-point lead. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
I know it's early, Greg, but you have got to like the dominance down low. Right now, they are playing bully basketball.
Here's Aminu. The slam dunk by Aminu.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Right. You could see on that possession, one side playing with a little desperation, the other side losing focus. Wow. How about the start to this game? Taking excellent shots, capitalizing on everything the defense is giving him. This is great stuff.
And the shot goes in from Kristaps Porzingis.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. It's Fournier on the wing. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Fournier's got 6 points.
Well, the body of Evan Fournier comes into play in these difficult finishes. That's really nice.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Well, you set the tempo early, and when you get command and control of a game, it's perfect.
And so it's Dallas going into the break with a 10-point lead. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And we'll be right back after this. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen here, guys, from the Mavericks.
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
On the court for Dallas here in the second. Inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. Then it's DeJuan Wright, and it's Finney Smith in at the small forward position.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Here's Fultz. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Well, obviously a rough start to the career of #1 pick Markelle Fultz. The shoulder injury sort of takes away his shooting ability when the Sixers trade him away. You're rooting for this young man to get back to his game.
Curry's checked in for Porzingis. And some have said, Doris, for Fultz, not just physical issues dogging him early on.
Well, I think you have to consider, Kevin, when you are the #1 overall pick, extraordinary pressure comes with that. So now with a new team, perhaps that fresh start gives Markelle Fultz an opportunity to showcase his big-time talent.
He can't get that one. Now Dallas takes it the other way. They've got the Hawks ahead of them in their next game, and it's in Atlanta. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son, Philip, was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report. The Magic trail by 14. Out to the wing. This one for 3. And Curry pulls it down. For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And Wright, here we go. Count that bucket. Wright's got his first 2 points of the night. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
And you look at this Magic roster, so much potential.
I think, Greg, they have done a great job of drafting to the style of play they want to play. Guys who want to get after it on the defensive end. Guys who can switch and slide on the perimeter. Guys who can protect the rim. That is the backbone of this organization.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Marjanovic comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Luka Doncic subbed in for DeLon Wright. Once again off the mark, Orlando. Mavericks leading by 16. And Curry has it in the corner. Here's Doncic. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Augustine against Curry. Now the pass to Gordon. To halt the run. The Mavericks pull it in. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Curry finds Powell. Marjanovic with it. It's stolen by Vucevic. Here's Fultz. It's tipped, and he's able to get it back. Vucevic against Marjanovic. Fast break, here they come. And the dunk by Doncic.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Doris, you graduated as your college's all-time assist leader. Talk about some of the key traits of a great playmaker.
I think historically speaking, when we think about great lead guards, Kevin, we talk about unselfishness, vision, patience. Who are the players that make their teammates better? Though probably the one underrated aspect of a point guard to me, Kevin, is communication. Are you constantly looking for opportunities to communicate to your teammates, make them feel good about themselves, give them confidence? That, to me, is probably the most underrated aspect of it.
And Doris, when you played, you took such great pride in each and every one of those things.
I did. I love trying to make my teammates better. Feels great to make somebody feel good.
That shot off. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. Okeke passes to Augustine. Pass to Fultz. Steps back and fires. And the rejection by Marjanovic.
Credit the defense right there. They have not allowed this guy to get going at all in this period.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Here's Augustine, and the layup's good off the glass. Augustine's got 4 points this quarter.
That ability to change direction, switch gears, stay in control. DJ Augustine doing it all on that dribble drive.
Fournier's checked in for Fultz. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Porzingis is coming in for Dwight Powell. Lee's checked in for Ryan Brokoff. And Barea subbed in for Seth Curry. Gordon, and then Gordon with the dunk.
And Kev, this is exactly what you expect from DJ Augustine. This is why coaching staffs love him. He makes everyone better. Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
No reason to do so there. He was going to leave, no doubt.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Fournier's shot is off.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Augustine dishes to Vucevic. 1 second left. He gets it in there. Vucevic has got 6.
Well, such a polished scorer. Vucevic doesn't mind absorbing hits. He will power through it.
And so it's Dallas with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. What a night they've had.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford. What was the biggest problem for your guys in the first half?
Well, you know what? We're a defensive team first.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. It was all Kristaps Porzingis in the first quarter. He had 20 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
There's been one thing that's made it.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And it's been a clinic out there by Kristaps Porzingis.
And he's been a monster in this game, throwing down some huge dunks. And I wasn't sure the rim would even survive in that first half.
Oh, his power is unbelievable. An intimidating force when he's at his best.
Augustine and Fournier are the backcourt tandem. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. And it's Okiki in at the 3 spot. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. Doncic, no good. And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for Orlando. They trail by 14.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic. An offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. And Fournier kicks to Augustine. Outside Fournier. Out to the right wing. Vucevic. Porzingis with the block.
Porzingis so fast off the floor when he challenges a shot. Helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
Brunson, good. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves, terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros, a response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
Hardaway kicks to Brunson. Back to Hardaway. Passes it to Doncic. That drops and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. Doncic has got 16 points.
From the moment this guy stepped into the league, Luka Doncic has been aggressive and assertive. He just attacks defenders.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. Those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
Outside Fournier. Pass to Bamba. It's hauled in by Porzingis.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Finney-Smith passes to Hardaway. And the dunk by Porzingis.
It hasn't mattered the scheme or the defender. Kristaps Porzingis is simply cooking right now.
And there's the feed to Augustine, and he makes that one. Augustine's got 4 points in the quarter.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
Well, major height disadvantage. He recognizes that and still able to score it.
Fournier's shot is off. Dallas leading by 17. And Porzingis, here we go, off target at the rim.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
And the Magic, one of those franchises that's still looking for its first title.
And Greg, they've been to the NBA Finals twice, but boy, did they run up against two of the all-time great individual closers in history. 1995, Hakeem Olajuwon says no to the Magic. 2009, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant says, no, sir, I'm getting another championship.
And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession, and the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Powell. Ryan Brokoff comes in for Porzingis. Lee's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Barea subbed in for DeLon Wright. And 1:01 left to play in the third. Augustine looking around. Got a piece of it. And the pass to Brokoff. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Brokoff's got his first points of the night.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
The shot's good from Fournier.
I'll tell you, what a night. He has been efficient. He's been strong. Unfortunately, they're still fighting an uphill battle.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. The Magic making a switch here. Vucevic is checked in. Marjanovic checked in for the Mavericks. And Marjanovic with the slam.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete. Now Augustine, 8 points for him. Inside, here's Vucevic, the layup off target.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without...
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We've got more in store for you right after this. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the court for the Mavericks, they've got J.J. Barea. He's out there with Lee. Doncic out there with Marjanovic. And it's Kleber in at the fourth. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Kiki And again, it's Orlando with the three.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
And Doncic gets it to go.
Luka Doncic has superstar written all over him. He's cooking.
Fournier against Curry. And Augustine kicks to Fournier. Doris, when you look at draft eligibility requirements, it is a very fluid topic with a lot of different ways it could go, a lot of moving parts. Where do you stand?
I'll tell you the truth, Kevin. I'm conflicted about this because I believe there is real value to the college experience. There's high-level coaching across the game at the collegiate level, but I also believe that young men who have talent should be able to, when they are eligible, decide when they want to become professionals. So, listen, I'm sort of in the middle. There are legitimate arguments to be had for both sides. What I hope, regardless, is we get the best players in the league, and that's certainly going to happen whenever it happens.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Porzingis, he's checked in for Maxi Kleber. And it's Jalen Brunson in for J.J. Barea. Clock at 6. Pass to Vucevic. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. 7 feet, 260 pounds. Vucevic has a big, strong body with great footwork inside, Doris, but he doesn't shoot a lot of free throws.
He doesn't, Kevin, and he can struggle at times to finish through contact. If he were a better leaper, I think he'd get to the line more. This guy is just so smart and elusive with his footwork. So this is a big-time player now, make no mistake.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
What a college career for Jalen Brunson. 2 championships and a Wooden Award. This is one of the most decorated players in college basketball history.
Passes it to Okeke. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Dallas. And Brunson, the College Player of the Year back in 2018, but fell to the second round. Doris, when you look at that time, why did he fall?
I think it had everything to do with the fact that he's not an elite athlete by NBA standards. But we know unequivocally Jalen Brunson is a winner. His father played a decade in the NBA. This young man has been around the game since his formative years, and you can see it in his game.
Oh, fantastic dunk. And he hangs around up there just for a little camera time.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to land awkwardly. Who knows? But there he is, and we see it very clearly. Now here is Augustine. Brunson covering. Lets a floater go. He takes it up and lays it in.
What a finish from DJ Augustine. At 6 feet or less, you've got to have that floater game in your bag of tricks.
And the Mavericks call time here. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Count the basket.
Well, Tim Hardaway Jr. getting stronger, and that's a problem when he's trying to finish through contact.
Right against Carter Williams. Lays it up and banks it in.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Mavericks.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And for the year now, they'll have 52 wins under their belt.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief two-gamer.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Porzingis.
You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see his imprint put all over it.
And the rejection by Marjanovic. Powell, the pass to Hardaway. The kick out to Wright. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Free throw drops for Wright. Vucevic checked in for the Magic. And so Wright nails both of them. 36 seconds left in the game. Now here's Carter Williams, guarded closely. Here's Vucevic. And Vucevic throws it down.
This guy, a strong rebounder who uses his frame well. Vucevic has a knack for being in the right spot.
Pass to Powell. The dish to Wright. Hardaway with the bounce pass. Here's Powell. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
Well, they knew it would be a hostile environment, and they rose to the challenge.
And sometimes, Greg, when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Dorisburg, David...